Thank you for joining us. This is Health Your Own Way podcast, and I am your host, Moak. Welcome to another episode. Today, we're going to be talking about health with the foundation of relationship with God. I really wanted to have this conversation because granted, I'm not that spiritual, but it doesn't mean that I don't need to learn and educate myself. And for my guests, actually for my audience that really are spiritual, my guest speaker, Kaela, she's a busy Christian woman, finds the time and discipline to consistently grow with a relationship with God. So for welcome, I think before I start, anything else you want to add?
This is my biggest desire and how I help women. And I came from an elite athletic background and into training. And so now as a Christian mentor and life coach, I get to put it all together. But that's where the foundation started, was in health and fitness with my relationship with God.
I like when you say that because a lot of people, when think of health, they don't really think of the spiritual side of it, right? Mm-hmm. So I really am happy to have this conversation with you because I don't know, sometimes it can be considered a taboo conversation because a lot of people are like God and health, or like, what is the difference? But I guess my first question to you is, were you always Christian? How did you gravitate to feel that health was more related to the relationship you have with God?
I wasn't raised in a Christian home. I was raised in an amazing family. But it wasn't until I was older, in my 20s, that I actually found and developed a relationship for me, found a church that I liked, and really grew a relationship with God for myself. And at that point, I was a really high level athlete in college, a basketball player. We won the national championship. And so I knew sports and athletics and health were always part of my life. I got my first degree in kinesiology. I worked for the NBA for 9 years. And so I've always been on that healthy journey, but I just knew there was always something more. It's like we know there's something else pushing us to why we do these things, or why we want to be healthy, why we take care of our bodies. It's not just so we can look good. There's something else in us, right, that pushes us, and a reason and a purpose. And I found that in my relationship with God, that was the foundation for me.
I know you mentioned earlier just that you're a coach. So how do you relate God into health when you talk to your clients? Like, how do you bring that in now? Okay, this is a concept that you should use when you're trying to improve your health.
Yeah. I mean, I totally believe that God created us to serve others.
Okay.
And we have to be able to do that effectively. And I always think of myself, like the phrase I always ask myself is, am I able? Like, if God asked me to do something, am I physically able to do it?
Oh, I understand.
And that's something that I just ask myself. I know that there are disabilities and there are other things than other factors in our lives, but it's a question I always ask myself is, am I able? Or like even something as like helping someone carry the groceries, or like the friend that calls you asking you to help them move. Like, am I not going because I really don't want to carry boxes, or am I actually physically not able to do it with joy?
I see what you mean. So like, okay, you can re-educate me. For me, what I'm getting from you is the fact that, you know what, if we're meant in this world to be servitude, like offer help and be there for other people, or even just be there for ourselves. To do that, you have to be healthy. You have to be physically healthy, or in a sense, mentally, whatever you need to be, generally healthy to be able to service God the way that He intended us to do. Is that fair, what I'm saying?
Yeah, I believe that. And obviously there's always going to be things either way, and God has an overall plan. But for me, that's what a lot of it really came down to. And He gave me this body, so why would I not take care of it?
Okay.
Right. We talk about our houses like that. We talk about our cars. We talk about our jobs, the blessings that God has given us. He's given you one body.
I like that. I don't think a lot of people realize what you just said, because it just clicked to me, and I'll repeat. A lot of people are grateful for, you got a roof over your head. You have a house, you have a car, but then you have that one body that He's given to you to take care of, to treat, to like it's a treasure. And many of us put a lot of crap in our, excuse my language, a lot of crap in our body. It's my podcast. A lot of crap in our body.
There you go.
And and we don't take care of it like the treasure that we get when we're happy. So I can understand where you're coming from in respect to that.
Yeah. And we talk about it in life all the time, right? Garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah.
And like, if we're really taking care of ourselves, it matters what flows in and what flows out. It matters spiritually, it matters mentally, it matters physically. And they all work together for your body. I mean, how it feels when your body is sore, or when you're not feeling well, or when you ate like crap for an entire day. And so it matters that we take care of our bodies, because it actually affects our emotions, and it affects us spiritually, which affects how we serve other people.
I like what you're saying that, because Again, I'm not going to be like, I'm not a spiritual person, but I
Yeah.
do, in a sense, even if you're not a spiritual person, like in respects to God or don't believe in the word God, but it's just more of there's somebody above us or
Yeah.
something out there. And I think at this point, it's more of being aligned to that thought process, as well as taking care of yourself so you can service or be the best version of yourself is what I'm really
Right.
understanding. Now, I understand that you said you're a coach yourself. If somebody was looking to learn more about how they can take their faith and improve and their faith as a stepping stone to make sure their health is better, what is the best platform to reach you out on?
You can find me on Instagram. My name is on Instagram is Kaela Praise, KaelaPrays. My website is also KaelaPraise.com. And then I have a podcast as well called His Word, My Walk.
You can't just say that and not tell us what the podcast
Yeah.
about.
The amazing thing when I started this podcast was I really want people to understand how to take God's word, how to take the Bible and apply it to your daily life.
Okay.
But also the physical health part of it. So I actually encourage, all my episodes are 20 minutes long, and I encourage you at the beginning of every episode to lace up your shoes and get out the door and go for a 20-minute walk while you listen. And so it's just a way for me to pour out, but to also really encourage people to still live that healthy lifestyle. Like whether it's your lunch break at work or your kids are in practice or you're waiting for the store to open, like take a lap around the parking lot, just go for a walk and also fill yourself spiritually while you're doing it. And it just makes your day feel so much better. Like you have a purpose in your life. You have a purpose in your day. Part of that is to take care of your body, but part of that is to also take care of yourself spiritually and mentally as well.
I like when you said that, because sometimes people, when they assume activity or level activity, it's too much pain. I have to
Yes.
go do some kind of Zoom call. I have to hurt myself. But a simple thing as me, again, listen to your podcast or anybody else's podcast and going for that walk, you're being active. You're putting it as part of your lifestyle. You're enjoying that air. Granted, if you live in a cold area, go on a treadmill. I don't know what you want to say. Just go. But I think you're right. Like experiencing some activity or some kind of active life while you're listening to something, or even getting in touch with God or any spiritual person you believe in, is going to be beneficial to you long term, is what I understand from you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the last thing I want to ask you is, like, when you talk to your clients, what are some of your pushbacks you get when you mention that, adding God into your health foundation? Like, what's some kind of pushback do you get from people when you say that?
I don't get a lot of pushback because I am who I am.
Okay.
And from jump, that this is who I am. You can look at my Instagram, you can look at my Facebook, that my foundation is Jesus.
Okay.
So if you're looking for a coach who's not that, then you go to someone else. Right. And I am so secure in what God has called me to do that I know I'm not called to serve everyone, just like all of us. Right. And so I serve the ones he has sent to me to serve. My transition happened. I mean, I was a certified personal trainer and kinesiologist and nutritionist for years, decades almost. And it was during the pandemic that I had group programs that I was running online with helping people physically and workouts and nutrition, but also helping them grow their relationship with God. And I found myself so much more excited when they were growing in their relationship with God than when they'd be like, hey, this happened in my life physically. I can now lift this much. I lost this much weight, whatever. That wasn't as exciting for me anymore. And that's when I finally just transitioned. And now it's so joyful, like helping people with a bigger purpose than just your physical body, which I believe is obviously still very important. But it became so much more than that to me.
I appreciate you saying that. For others that, at one point may have lost their relationship with God, or, and they want to find it, are those kind of people that that would come to you, say, okay, look, I used to go to church all the time. I'm not happy with my body. What can you do to help me? Is that kind of people that you assist in a sense? Is that what I'm understanding from you?
Yeah. I mean, that's not my sole focus anymore, but for years, that's where I was. It was focused solely on the health and fitness. And then I would undercut you with, let's talk about Jesus along the way, which they knew going in. Now it's Jesus first. Oh, you need help with your health too? Go for a walk. I can still help you with the other part now. And as now branding and moving into more of a life coach realm, I still get to use all that expertise. Nothing is wasted when we walk out the call that God has in our lives. So all my years as a trainer, I still get to use to help people. But that's not my focus anymore. But it comes in because it matters. Like to be happy in your life. I mean, to be even joyful in going to work every day, you feel better when you've taken care of your body.
100%.
There's something that I just released a podcast episode this morning, and at the end was saying, like, there's something about having a clean car with a full tank of gas that makes you feel like you can run the world.
Yes,
like
I need one of those.
Right? But it's like the best feeling when you have filled up yourself, when you've filled up spiritually and you've taken care of yourself physically. There's this feeling that it's like this new level of confidence that you have because you've put in the effort and you now have a clean car with a full tank of gas. And it's just this amazing feeling and you can just take on the world.
I love that. I think before I let you go, what's next for you? Anything we need to know? Anything you want to share? Anything you're excited?
I'm just so excited about where God has me now and where I see him taking me. I speak at women's conferences and I love that. But I also love that I'm no longer just known as the Christian fitness girl, that God has elevated me above that I'm not just talking about health and fitness, but it's actually about a relationship with him and a full-on lifestyle. And so I love that I still get to do that. My podcast is great. I have online courses that I teach women how to journal through God's word, how to understand his word, how to apply it to your life. That's my like deep passion. And out of that comes your desire to take care of your body and to take care of your family and to take care of your business and to take care of everything that he has put in your hands. And so I just pour out whatever he keeps putting in, and I am so excited about it and just loving it in all areas.
For some of you guys are not watching this, you need to watch this because this woman exudes happiness. Like I'm like looking at her and I'm just like, oh, I need to be right now. I need to be right now. No, seriously, I can tell that you're very passionate, that you love it. Like your eyes, like your face just glows. So this is, and you may have found I think you found your true calling. A lot of people are envious of you in a sense, when you're struggling, you're searching. Maybe if you are struggling, searching, you're trying to determine what's next. Maybe reaching out to Kaela can help you. But also listening to our podcast, which we're going to have in the show notes as well as in the videos. With that said, thank you for your time. I appreciate this conversation because I know I'm not overly spiritual, but I felt like this is a conversation that I may need as well as anybody else that's watching or listening.
Amazing. Thank you.
We're glad to have you join us. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, share with anyone that needs to be empowered and inspired. And don't forget to join us next week for the next episode of Health Your Way Podcast. Have a good day, you guys.